again, everyone. Welcome back. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome back to my show. It is Sunday, June 18th. It's 11:04 a.m. here in Cincinnati, Ohio. Welcome to my second live stream. This is English Q&A session, and on this live stream you can ask me pretty much any question you want about whatever. Okay, and I will try to help you. Okay? Hello, Tanya. Tanya, I always did like that word. It's one of the funniest words in the English language. Colonel. It looks like it should be pronounced colonel or colonel, but it's pronounced colonel, which is goofy. Hello, everyone. Hello, Mona. Thank you for the gifts. Hello, Tip Flip. Hi, Tanya. Hi, is it Dlovan? That's a cool name. Hello, Adam and Vivian and Sunshine and Zuber and Rabbit and Mayflower and Karen. Hello, S.A. and Ikram. Hello, Sitare and Icy and Kausam. Hello again. So, this is my second live stream today. I don't know if you guys saw my first one or not, but we were talking about etymology earlier. And I like etymology. I think etymology is fun. But, it's always a little difficult for me, or a little confusing for me, when I do live streams, because sometimes there's someone who wants to help, but I feel they're not really helping. And it's a difficult position for me to be in. Anyway, whatever. Sometimes there are people who want to come and show off their own knowledge, and that's really impressive. That's really amazing, and it's impressive. But you must let me teach my class. I'm not here for you to show off. I'm here to help everyone learn. So, yeah. It's always nice if you're excited about things, but you got to know when is the right time to be excited. Right? So, I'm a drummer, and I have gone to at least 100 private master classes given by professional drummers, right? So I would go watch this famous drummer perform, and he will teach us things, right? And there are many, many, many times when they know something, and maybe I know it better than they do, right? I'm in the audience, and I actually know something better than the guy who's teaching. But guess what? I don't say anything. I shut up. Why? Because it's not my show. It's his show. It's his time, not my time. So, I just listen. That's all. And sometimes that's the best thing you can do. Okay? I guess I'm difficult. I don't know. Thank you, Kalsum. So, does anyone have any questions for me? Thank you, Adam. Let the games begin. Bring on your questions, and I shall try to help you. Yes, let's begin. Thank you, Gina. Mona says, we use light up for igniting a cigarette. How can we say the opposite of it? Mona, we say put out. Put out your cigarette. Yeah, put out your cigarette is what we mean when we if you do that and you're, putting out the fire and you're done with it or whatever, you throw it away, you put it out. Hello from Turkey. Hello, Crystal. Hello, Laura. Oh, we already have some of my favorite questions. What's the difference between there and over there? Ahmad, there's no difference, Ahmad. There's sometimes you're saying, I want to go there. And sometimes you want to say, I want to go over there. And there is no real difference. The only difference is that the word over might make you think it's a little bit further. Maybe. Okay? But no, in some cases not, right? If you ask me, where is my coffee? I can say my coffee is there, or I can say my coffee is over there. Same thing. No difference in the meaning. Okay? So sometimes that one completely the same, right? Actually, I would say most of the time that one's the same. And what's the difference between fragrance and perfume? Perfume is a word that we use when we usually talk about something that we created, a smell that we created from many different sources. That's a perfume, okay? Or if it's for women, we say perfume. If it's for men, we say cologne. Okay, so the stuff that women spray on themselves, that's called perfume. The stuff that men spray on themselves, that's called cologne. Okay? And fragrance. A fragrance is any smell, usually a good smell, okay? We don't usually use the word fragrance when we're talking about anything bad smelling, because the word fragrant means a nice smell. If I say, well, it's very fragrant, then that means kind of a nice smell, all right? If I said it's stinky, that's not a nice smell. All right? So, a fragrance is any kind of pleasant smell. So if you walk into a room and you smell something nice, you could say, what is that fragrance I'm smelling? What is that fragrance? Okay? And, of course, all perfumes and colognes, they are fragrances. They're different fragrances. So you can almost think of the word fragrance kind of like flavor, right? So there are many flavors of foods, right? Well, there are many fragrances that are smells of things, okay? Does that apply to a fire too? The word put out? Yeah. You can put out your fire. Yes. Any fire, you can put it out. Hello, Giuseppe, my friend. How are you? Is inexpensive a synonym of cheap? Yes. Yes. However, cheap also sometimes means not well made or not good quality. And usually things that are not well made and are not good quality are also inexpensive, right? So sometimes the word cheap means low quality, but because it's low quality, it's probably also inexpensive. All right? So sometimes we say, oh, I don't like that my computer's not a good computer. It's just cheap. It's a cheap one. which means it's low cost and low quality. Okay? But inexpensive is just inexpensive. It doesn't necessarily have anything to do with the quality. Okay? Let's see, what is this? Well, I'm not sure. Anyway, let's see. Yolanda says, why do the British men's voice sound so similar? I'm not sure what you mean, Yolanda. It depends on where you come from in England. There are different accents or different dialects depending on where you live in England. So there will be many who do sound the same because they're from the same area. Just like my band, all the guys in my band, they all sound like me because we're all from this area. Hamo wants to know about the word other and another. Hamo, if I say, I want the other thing, we don't often use an other separated like that. We'll say the other, okay? But if we say the other means the different one. Okay, so the other means different. Another means one more. So if I say, do you want this phone or the other phone? This means, do you want this phone or the different phone? Okay, if I say, do you want another phone? That means you have one. Do you want a second one? One more. Okay? So the word other, when it's by itself, means something different. Okay? But the word another means one more. I want another drink of water. Is this glass yours? No, that's not my glass. My glass is the other glass. Okay? Gina wants to know what's the difference between qualify and modify. You mean in language, Gina? Those words can have meanings, several different meanings, depending on what you're talking about. But I think you're talking about in language. What do the words qualify or modify mean, like in grammar or linguistics? What does operation mean? An operation is some action that is done. Okay? So, we use that word for many different things. Operations could be math. When you do math, if you do 2 plus 2 is 4, that's an operation. Okay? But if you need heart surgery and they cut you open, that's also called an operation. They're operating on you. Okay? And if you, a long time ago, when you needed help on the phone, you would dial 0 to get the operator. She's the person, or he is the person who runs the equipment that makes things operate or work. Okay? So how to operate means to work or to do something to something, right? So how does this operate? How does this work? All right? I want to operate, this thing does not operate, means this thing does not work. He needs an operation, means that they need to cut him open and look inside him for something. Okay? Kiki, I don't think it's good for singers to smoke cigarettes. Yeah, of course it's not good for singers to smoke cigarettes. It's not good for anybody to smoke cigarettes. But especially if you sing, then yeah, it's probably not good for you. Yeah. What's the difference between hard and tough? Zarif. Nothing most of the time. Okay? If I say, this desk is very hard, that's one way to say it. I could say this desk is very tough, but that would be a little bit weird. Okay? So it depends on the circumstances, right? If I'm talking about a test, I could say this test is very hard, and I could say this test is very tough. That is the same meaning. It means difficult. Okay? But the word tough and the word hard can also talk about the surface of something and how it feels. Does it feel soft? Soft, or does it feel hard? Okay? So, the difference between hard and tough. If you're talking about difficulty, those things can be the same word. But if you're talking about the softness or the feeling of a surface, that is a little bit different. Okay? And the word tough can also be a description of a person. He's very tough. He's very tough means he's strong, or he's not easily beaten. It's difficult to beat him. Okay, he's tough. Thank you, Liz. I can say bom dia, Liz. Hello, Elena. Privyet. What is my favorite perfume? Kiki? I don't know. I don't really pay attention to perfumes too much. I don't know. A nice perfume is a nice perfume, but not too much. Not too much. Sometimes I don't like it too much. A little bit is okay. Hello, Guyane. Thank you, Anna. I can understand every single word you say, but I can't speak in the same way. Ahmed, that's because you can't think in English. You just need to think in English, my friend. Start learning how to think in English every day. Just use simple things in your mind when you're at work, when you're at school, when you're at home. Try to think in English. What's the difference between, so many difference between questions. The difference between agency, agent, and teacher. Okay, wow, those are very different words. So teacher is, like me, someone who teaches. Okay? The letters ER, when we put those on the end of a word, sometimes that means a person who does that thing. Okay, so a worker is a person who works. A teacher is a person who teaches. Okay? So, that's what a teacher is. An agent could be many different things, but it basically means someone who works for someone else. Okay? So, for example, an actors usually have an agent. So, does the actor call the movie production company? Does the actor call Disney and say, hey, I want to do a movie with you? No. The actor has an agent, and that agent works with many actors. And so Disney will talk to the agent, and they'll say, we want to hire this actor. He's one of your clients. So an agent is someone who works for someone else doing something. Okay? So that word can be used in criminal justice, right? So there are agents that work for the government. If you're an agent of the government, it means that you work for that government doing something. Okay? And the word agency, again, it can have a few different meanings. An agency can be a place for agents, right? So, if I say agency is almost like the word like company, right? So if you look up many different companies, they might have the word agency at the end of their name. Let me give you some examples. So I'm looking up a list of U.S. government agencies. And let's see. The Agency for Global Media, the Agency for Healthcare Research and Quality, the Agency for International Development. So that means there are people working there as agents to try to help build international development in different places. Okay? But to have agency is another way to use the word. If you have agency, it means you have an ability to change or an ability to affect your future or your situation. So if you have no agency, that means you have no power or ability to change or affect your situation. But if you have agency, that means you have the ability to change or affect your situation. Okay? Thank you very much, Anna Paula Schneider. Could I give you some examples of the phrasal verb set off? Crystal, the words set off usually are, they can be used to talk about when you want to leave. Okay, so if you're going to set off, we're going to set off now. It just means we're going to go. Okay, but there are a few other meanings. So to set off can mean to begin a journey, to travel somewhere. Okay, but it also can mean to cause someone or something to start. So, for example, we use the term set off when we talk about people getting angry, right? So, if your dad got really angry and your sister is asking you, well, what made him angry? Maybe she'll say, what set him off? What set him off means what was the thing that caused him to be angry? Okay, like what was the thing that caused him to go on his journey of anger? How can I respond politely when others say thanks to me? You can say, you're very welcome. It's no problem. It's my pleasure. Any of those would be fine. Okay, Gina, you were talking about, let me go back and find that again. Where was that, Gina? Qualify and modify. So, to qualify something usually means to say something more. You're trying to explain something more to make your meaning more clear, right? So if I make a statement, if I say something stupid like, America is the greatest country in the world, then I might say, let me qualify that. And that means, let me give you some examples of why that's true. Okay, let me make that clearer for you by giving you more information. Okay, so qualifying something means to make something clearer by telling more. Okay? To modify means to change something in some important way. So, for example, when you say open the door, open is an adjective that's qualifying the door. So, I'm sorry, the open door, not open the door. If I say the open door, okay, if I say there's the door, that's the door. But if I say the open door, now I have modified the door with the word open. So now you know what kind of door it is. Okay? So modifying tells you more about the quality of that word. Maybe that's a way to put it. Okay? I hope that was helpful. Okay. I have not what? Rakib, I'm not sure what you're trying to ask me. Is there a difference between operation and surgery? Yes, Avery. Every surgery is an operation, but not every operation is a surgery. So surgery has one meaning, to cut someone open and look inside. Operation can mean surgery, but it also can mean other things. Okay? What is the meaning of the word concern? Miriam, it depends on how it's used. But in most cases, the word concern means about. If I say, what does this concern? It means, what is this about? Okay? If I say, I'm concerned, that means I'm worried. Okay? So the word concern comes from the Latin word concernere, meaning with and to sift. Oh, interesting. So it means with understanding, basically, or comprehension. So what is this concerning? What is this about? Are you concerned? Are you worried about something? Okay? You are welcome, Zarif. Yes, the comparative form would be harder and tougher, and hardest and toughest. Yes, that's right. Mm-hmm. Comparative and superlative forms. Right. I'm looking for an easy technique for IELTS speaking exam. Would you please advise me? Yes. There is none. There are none. There are no easy techniques to pass the IELTS test. If there were easy techniques to pass the IELTS test, then everyone would do them and it wouldn't be difficult. There are no easy ways to pass a difficult test. The IELTS test is difficult. There's your answer. There's no easy way. There's only hard work. What's the difference between effective and efficient? Effective means how well something worked. Efficient means how much something worked by percentage. Think about the percentage, right? So if I think, think about a car engine today, compared to a car engine 50 years ago, okay? Which one is more efficient? The modern car engine is more efficient than a car engine from 50 years ago. So that means that it has the potential to do more with less energy. It's more efficient. It uses its potential more effectively. So that's how you can combine those words. To be efficient means to use your power or energy effectively. Okay? But effective is asking about, did it work or not? Was it effective or not? It's not really giving you an idea of how effective it was. It's just giving yes or no. It was effective, it wasn't effective. Okay? But if I say it was efficient or it wasn't efficient, that I immediately think of like a percentage in my mind. Like I think, okay, it was efficient. That means, it used most of its energy well. So at least 51% or greater. Okay? But if it wasn't efficient, then 49% or less means that it had energy that it wasted. Okay? I'm sorry if I'm missing any comments. Please be patient. A child asked me once, why isn't the negative of I am nunt? Because it's difficult to say. I amn't is hard to say. That's probably why. You have to use the R form, right? I'm not, or I am not, right? I aren't wouldn't work, right? So, no, she's right. In a sense, she's right. I amn't. Yeah. Which is kind of why, Laura, there's a word in English, ain't. That's kind of where we got the word ain't. Ain't is not correct English, but it's somewhat common to say in some places in America. So it's informal and it's not correct, but you could say, I ain't done nothing. That means I have not done anything. Or you could say, I ain't the one you're looking for. That means I am not the one you're looking for. But again, that's not correct English. That's improper dialectical English, colloquial English. How can I improve my oral spoken English in a timely manner? Herbert, you need to make a plan for practicing your spoken English. Okay? That's number one. Number two, you need to make no excuses. There are no excuses. If you're going to practice speaking, then you must speak. So I give you 4 ways to practice speaking. 1, try to find a native speaker. If you live in a big city, there are some people who speak English natively there, but you have to go find them. Go find the food, and you'll find the native. Okay, so go find a burger, and you'll find an American. All right, and then you can ask him, hey, can I buy you some French fries? And talk with you in English for a few minutes? Okay, so there's number 1. Try to find a native speaker. Number 2, find a non-native speaker. Somebody else like you who wants to practice their English. I don't care if their English is not perfect. It's really stupid if you don't practice at all because the practice you do isn't perfect. That's pretty stupid, right? So you can't find a native speaker to practice with, so you're not going to practice at all? No, that's dumb. That's dumb. You can't do that. So find another person who wants to practice their English who speaks Chinese and go practice with them. Okay? That's step 2. Step 3, if you can't find a native speaker and you can't find a non-native speaker, then you can find someone that you can teach. Get 10 students. If you really want to learn faster, teach. Let me say that one more time. If you really want to learn faster, then teach. Get 1 student, and that's good. Get 3 students, that's better. Get 5 or 10. Man, you're going to really, really learn fast. Teach them what you know, because the best kind of practice is teaching practice. You have to explain everything, and maybe you can't explain it. If you can't explain it, then you don't know it that well. So you need to teach people, okay? So step 1, native speaker. Step 2, non-native speaker. Step 3, teach. Or step 4, talk to yourself, okay? Do you guys know the game chess? Do you know the game chess? Chess masters, the masters of chess, how do they practice? If they don't have anybody to practice with, and usually they don't have anybody to practice with, because a chess master is so good, they don't want to practice with anyone. They can't just practice with some guy. So yeah, they practice by themselves, Gina. They play the white pieces, then they turn the board and play the black pieces, then they turn the board and play the white pieces. So, hi Mark, how you doing? I'm pretty good, Mark. How are you? Not bad. What's new? Nothing here. What are you up to today? Well, later, Mark, I think I'm going to go to the park and maybe have a picnic. Oh, that sounds nice. Who's going to go with you, Mark? I just had a conversation with myself. Okay? So, 1, native speaker. 2, non-native speaker. 3, teach. 4, talk to yourself. Okay? All right. Please be patient. There are still many comments to read. Hello, Ahmed from Palestine. What did I miss about the word rotten? Somehow I missed a question about the word rotten. Something about that. I don't know. You're welcome, Crystal. What is sacrament? Where did you see that, Matthew? Oh, sacrament. Sacrament. Sacrament, you can think about the word sacrifice. They're related. Sacrament is usually a religious word. Whoops, spelled it wrong. It's usually a religious word. It means an outward or visible sign of inner grace. So, a sacrament of the church usually is some kind of visible sign of something beautiful, religious. Okay? So the word is usually used when we talk about religion, but it also could have a meaning of like special knowledge, like secret knowledge. Okay? What's the difference between customer and customs? Olivia, customer, 就是顾客. So all the people who buy things from you, that's your customers. Okay? Customs, 我觉得就是差不多的传统. It's like traditions. Okay, so if I say, what are the customs of China? What are the customs of Japan? What are the customs of America? Okay, one moment. Okay, so customs means the ways of doing something. Okay. A customer, though, is a person who buys something from you. Can I use the word nickname for people, or it's... yeah, you can use nickname for people also, of course. Mona, I'm just trying to answer as many questions as I can. I look like a Russian actor? Okay. You want to know if you can learn 1,500 new vocabulary words in 150 days, 10 days, or 10 words per day. Yeah, you should be able to do that. Avi, that's not that hard, actually. But you need to be a creative learner, Avi. If you want to learn that many words in a short time, then you have to make as many games or different ways for you to play with those words. Okay, so Avi, I used to have an app that I loved, and they don't make it anymore. Unfortunately, one of the best language apps that I've ever used is not a thing anymore. But when I had this app, the reason why it was so great was because they played games. So you would learn vocabulary by playing games. And you would get harder words by playing. The more you play the game, the better you get, the harder the words are. So, yeah, I think I learned about 2,000 words in probably 6 months, which is not as good as you, but, you have to be creative and you have to practice a lot. Hello, Muhammad. Oh, I'm sorry, Abdul Muhammad. Hello. Hello, Gina. You've been preparing for the GMAT. Yeah, you need good vocabulary for that. Hello, Vivienne. Yes, I'm in America now. Is it hot? Right now, the temperature is 25. How can you say important? Important. Now, you don't have to pronounce the T, the first T, as much. Important. 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 So, try to think about it like this. Important. Important. Ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Dum, dum, dum. Love that song, Gunter. Great song. If he or she doesn't want to talk with me, what can I do? Talk to someone else. But Zoe, if you are nice and you are friendly and you introduce yourself to someone in a friendly place like a bar or a restaurant, if you're polite about it, then I think that the chances of someone saying no are very low. Okay? But if they do, so what? So maybe you go to a bar and you see some foreigners talking and you walk up to them and say, hey, hi, my name is Zoe. Can I talk to you guys for just a few minutes to practice my English? You know, or maybe I can buy you a beer and practice my English. Is that okay? You know? If those guys are busy, if they have something going on, or maybe if they're teachers, right? They're teachers and they're on their break. They don't want to teach on their break. You know, so maybe they might say, not right now. No, we're relaxing. We don't want to teach, right? But, okay. So they say no. Try again. Next time with a different person. That's all. Just try again. Gunter plays 30 games of chess every day. Wow. Jenny, what is the 5? What do you mean the 5? I don't know what you mean the 5. There was only 4 methods to practicing speaking, if that's what you mean. Only 4. There's not 5. Tanya says, I can't even teach my kids. I don't have the patience for it. Yeah, well, it requires patience. Hello, Jean-Franc. You're welcome, Kung. Huh? I think I missed something. Okay. Yes. Oh, customs can also be a tax. That's correct, Gina. You can pay customs tax, but the word customs, when it's talking about a tax, is still related to the word tradition. It's customary. So for that country, it's the custom to pay a tax. Okay? Could I review the book Work Power Made Easy by Norman Lewis? Oh, word power made easy. I might be able to do that for you. Looks like an interesting book. Interesting. I'll see if I can check it out. Avi. Miriam says, what goes comes around. Does this phrase? We say what goes around comes around, Miriam. And yes, that's an idiom. Yeah, what goes around comes around. That just means that if you do something bad will happen to you. So if you make bad things happen, they will come back around to you. Okay? Ali Nasimi, what does chill mean? Chill can have a couple of meanings. One of them is to relax or calm down, right? So if someone says, hey man, just chill, that means, hey, calm down a little bit. Calm down. Relax. Okay? But if you buy a bottle of wine, maybe you have some white wine. And white wine, when you buy white wine at the store, many times white wine is not cold. But usually people like to drink white wine cold. So when you bring your white wine home, you must put it in the refrigerator to chill. Means to make it cold. Okay? Or, Ali, if the weather outside is kind of cold on a day, I might walk outside and say, ooh, it's chilly. It's chilly means kind of cold. Pretty cold. Okay? Hello, Noreo. Do I eat burgers every day? No, Ming. But I did make burgers just yesterday for my nephew. Yeah. We do like burgers, but we don't eat them every day. At least not me. Hello, Republic, once again. What are my thoughts on mastering English grammar? Oh, it's lamb. Good luck. English grammar is terrible. I hate English grammar. I'm an English teacher, but I hate English grammar because it's deliberately more complicated than it needs to be. So, my thoughts are, don't worry about mastering English grammar. Worry about speaking English to express yourself. Grammar is only a concern if you're not able to express yourself well. So, the level of your grammar should match the level of your expressive ability. That's how I view it. Okay? My grammar is terrible. That's the truth. What I mean is, I learned those things when I was a child. And I haven't thought about those things since I was a child. And when I speak English, never do any grammar rules come into my head. Okay? So when I speak, I don't think about grammar at all. Okay? That's the point. If you master English grammar, then it's not something you think about. Because I'm a native. No, Sarah. It's because you're forgetting the point of language. The point of language is to communicate and express yourself. It doesn't mean that you communicate and express yourself perfectly. It means you communicate and express yourself. So, grammar helps you to communicate and express yourself better. Yes, that's true. But if I say, I like hamburger, do you understand me? That wasn't correct grammar, but do you understand me? Yeah, you do. Okay? So, it's not about that. It's about language is about expression and communication. It's not about perfection. So if you focus on grammar the whole time, you are trying to be perfect. Nah. No, you're wasting your time. While you're sitting there trying to be perfect, and so you don't speak very much because you don't want to speak unless you speak perfectly. So you are not going to improve. But I will speak and make lots of mistakes and not care. And my grammar will get better and will improve because you do learn from your mistakes. So don't worry about grammar so much. Remember, you are trying to learn how to drive a car. You are not trying to learn how to read how the engine works. When you study grammar, you're learning how the engine works. But the point is to drive the car. Understand? Drive the car, people. Drive the car. All right. What did I miss? Does the anchor have several phones on the air at the same time? No. Why? Why do you think that? Cloraine says, how can I improve my English speaking? You have to speak. It's that simple, man. But no, let me make it easier for you. If you're having trouble with English reading, if you're having trouble with English writing, if you're having trouble with English listening, or if you're having trouble with English speaking, there's a really, really, really good chance that the reason why you have trouble listening, speaking, reading, and writing is because you have trouble thinking in English. So, Cloraine, you need to learn how to think in English and start thinking in English every day as much as you can. If you're spending at least half of your day thinking in English, then you're doing well. No one gets paid here, Republic of Kosovo. You're welcome, Avi. I don't know anything about VoiceRoom because I don't use VoiceRoom. Karina says, foreigners speak English so fast that I often can't understand it. Okay, so find a foreigner who doesn't speak so fast and listen to them. That's the secret, Karina. If a musician wants to learn the piano, they don't listen to everyone who plays the piano. No, they listen to the best ones who play piano. So you need to do the same. Don't listen to everybody who speaks English. Find the ones who speak well and listen to them. Do I drink warm wine? That depends on the kind of wine. Am I a university teacher? No. Could I sing a song now? No. Hello, Nagam from Egypt. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, Gracie and Jonathan. No, everyone, I'm sorry, but I know you want to believe that because I was born here, I have an advantage, but that's just not true. Okay? I speak it naturally because I have been corrected a lot. So the secret is corrections. And the secret of making corrections is making mistakes. If you make mistakes boldly, then you will learn from them. Okay? Don't tell me, how can I learn from my own mistakes? You do it all the time. If you're a baby and you run too fast and you fall, then when you get up, you learn, oh, gee, I ran too fast. I better slow down. If you run and when you're a baby, your shoes are not tied and you fall over because your shoes are not tied, you get up and you go, oh, my shoes weren't tied. That's why I fell down. You learn. So when you speak incorrectly, there are times when you won't know, but there are times when you will know. And yeah, you can figure it out. Okay? Can I play Chopin? No. I'm a drummer. How to pronounce definitely. Mimi. Definitely. Definitely. So you can practice this, like break it apart. Definitely. 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 That's how we do it. But Chinese students must learn English grammar so much that I can't remember it. Well, 美国的学生他们需要学中文的文法，他们也需要学，所以什么？ Americans or Westerners or foreigners, they have to learn Chinese grammar. But when I speak Chinese grammar, if I speak Chinese, I don't care about my grammar there either. I don't care. I make mistakes in Chinese grammar. I don't care. Do you know why? Why don't I care? Because they still understood me, so it doesn't matter. It's inconsequential. Inconsequential. I studied English literature for 5 years and I didn't improve at all. Even my lecturer forced me. Well, Gina, then maybe you were not studying the right way. That's all. Gina, the amount of time that you do something is not quite as important as the quality of time that you spend doing it. So, 15 minutes of really good practice is better than 2 hours of lazy practice. Or bad practice. So, I'm not trying to say anything bad about what you studied. I'm just trying to say maybe you should try studying a different way if it didn't work for you that way. That's right. I know many who are holding themselves back because of perfection. Ding, 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 ding. You got it, Gracie. When I communicate with foreigners, I can't understand them. They speak native English. Can you understand me? Then you can understand. How can you pronounce the word worry? Worry. Worry. So it's spelled W-O-R-R-Y, but it really looks more like worry. 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 Okay? Hello, Belen. You're downtown. That's wonderful. I hope I can see downtown Madrid someday. Pharaoh says, because I always think in Chinese and try to translate into English, and that's why. Guess what, Pharaoh? If you're doing that, then you're not speaking English. If you're translating everything in your head, then you're not speaking the language. I'm sorry. There are 5 parts to English, 5 parts to language learning. All right? Reading, writing, listening, speaking, and thinking. And thinking is the most important one. And so if you've been learning English for many years, but you still can't speak it, it's probably because you don't know how to think in English well. Mustafa, I can listen well and I can understand everything, but I'm so scared to speak with anyone. Well then, Mustafa, your enemy is fear, and that's why I call you warriors. If you're going to learn a language, you must be brave. Learning a language is a fight. It's a battle. You have to be brave and courageous. So you're not allowed to be shy or scared to speak with people. Fight the battle, Mustafa. It's a battle. These are just words. You're not going to get hurt, so go speak. How can I improve my writing using ChatGPT? Neil, there are lots of ways to do that. You can just write anything. Write a short story or an article, and then input it into ChatGPT and ask ChatGPT to make some corrections for you or give you suggestions on how to improve it. Just tell it, can you suggest how I can improve my essay? And it will tell you everything you need to do and why. Okay? But be careful. Many, many people are finding out that ChatGPT is not quite as brilliant as everyone thinks it is, right? So anytime you use ChatGPT, think about it like Wikipedia. It's a good place to start, but make sure you double check all of your information because sometimes it's not correct. All right? I think maybe Chinese has no grammar. No, Chinese has grammar, but it's a lot more simple than English grammar in the beginning. Chinese grammar is a lot more simple, which is why I actually don't think Chinese is really hard to learn, because the basic grammar is more simple. But that doesn't mean that you don't have it. It's just more simple. Gracie says, I feel bad when I make mistakes in German, but that doesn't stop me from learning. Good for you. What do I think about a good way to learn? Sheeran, there are many, many things that I will tell you about learning here. I can't tell them to you all in one sentence. I'm writing a book about all of my teaching ideas and my learning ideas. You're going to have to wait for the book to come out and you can buy it. I can't just tell you everything in one sentence. Ha ha, I see you. Ha ha, what do you want? How can I help you? What's the correct pronunciation of the word earthquake? Earthquake. Good night, Chlorine. Give you tips to improve your writing. Neil, write a journal every day. Do a diary every day. That's one of the best ways you can improve your writing. Write a journal. tell everything that you think, everything you feel, everything you did, everything you that happened to you, or any ideas you have, thoughts you have, dreams, whatever. Write it. That is the fastest way to improve your writing, is a daily journal. Okay? Hello, Haley. Xin chao. Hello, AJ. I'm okay. How are you? Hello, Miriam. I wouldn't get anything if I don't translate it. No, thousands of dead. You don't understand. When you learn a language, if you're not using that language when you think, then you're not using that language. So, when I speak Chinese, I think Chinese. I don't think English and then translate into Chinese. And the only reason why you can't do it is because you haven't tried. You never started. When they taught you English, no one told you to think in English. So you learned how to do reading, writing, speaking, and listening, but you're always thinking in Chinese. I'm sorry, but that's the dumbest way to learn a language. If you're not thinking in the language, then you're not doing the language. Okay? That's the new way of being here, all right? Ibrahim, is it normal sometimes to feel your English is poor? Sure. It's normal because everyone wants to be better and everyone wants to improve. So, of course, you're going to feel like your English is not very good, but that's okay. Just keep trying. Is it possible to learn English in a short time, like 10 months? Sure, it's possible. But I can't tell you how. I don't know. It could be different for every person. It's possible someone could learn English in a week. It's possible. You're welcome, Gracie. I do my best. It's really hard to answer all these comments, but I do my best. Wow, Bellin, that sounds fun. Wish I could join you. Hello, Milka. Is it going to be a textbook? No, Gracie, it's not going to be a textbook. It's going to be more like a handbook, like a helping book, just for people to. Oh, you're leaving?
Heading out.
My nephew's going to take off here, everybody. So I got to give him a hug. All right, buddy. I'll see you. Thanks for coming.
Yeah, of course. I'll keep you updated with the OBS stuff.
All right, yeah, thank you.
Yeah, of course.
Thanks again for your help yesterday, too, buddy.
Yeah, of course.
All right, sorry about that, guys. How do I define creative learning, Gina? I define creative learning by how well can you look at one topic or one idea and then creatively think of 10 ways to practice that thing or 100 ways to practice that thing. So when I say creative learning, I'm saying I want you to think about any unique way that you can to try to engage yourself with that information. Okay? And the more ways you can come up with, the more creative you are, the better you will learn. Okay? Hello, Shukriya. Hello, Miriam. Long time no see. Yes, hello, Ricardo. Thank you. That was my dad was just there, too. I don't know if you guys saw him or not, but I was going to have you guys say Happy Father's Day to him in a minute here when he comes back down. Darian says, why do I feel I can understand your words so easily, but it's hard when I talk to others? That's because I'm good. No, it's because I'm a teacher. It's my job to be understood. It's my job to communicate well. And I have this very expensive microphone. How can I learn English? Abbas, I don't know. How can I learn Arabic? Abbas, ask a question that can be answered. Hello, Lokman. If you want to learn English, then you need to start, but you need a plan. So think about it. Come on. How can you learn anything? You know what I've realized? What I've realized since I started doing my live streams is that I am an English teacher, but actually I'm just a teacher because many of you just don't know how to learn. I am very confident that if I want to learn something, I can sit down and make a plan to learn it. I can figure out what I need to know, and I can figure out a plan for learning that information. But I've now figured out that many people don't know how to learn anything unless someone tells them how. I want you to think about how you can learn something and figure it out. That's a big part of being a human. You're learning Chinese, but sometimes I'm talking in English and you mix the two languages. That's normal, Haley. That's okay. It's pretty cool, actually, I think. What are my suggestions to learn English in the best way? Follow me. That's my suggestion. Luckman, I have many tips. I do live streams a lot. I have 48,000 followers. You will hear lots of great tips for learning English on my live streams. Okay? Yep, that's right, Gunter. What's the difference between single or mingle? No, single, Masood. Single means that you're not with someone. So if you're single, you don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend, or you don't have a husband or wife. Mingle means to meet people. So if you go to a party and you walk around and talk to people and meet new people, you are mingling. That's mingling. So maybe if you go to a party with your friends and there's a lot of people there, you can say, oh, well, let's mingle. That means to walk around and meet people. Okay? So, if you are single, then usually you're free to mingle, right? You don't have a boyfriend or girlfriend or a husband or wife, so you're free to talk to anyone, right? You mean when I communicate in English, I can't convert English to Chinese and then back to English? Yeah, that's what I mean. That's what I mean, man. Do you really think that everybody who learns a language is supposed to translate everything in every language before they say it? No. No. Do I have any online courses for speaking and listening specifically? Not yet, but I'm working on them now, Saeed. Okay, I'm working on some video courses now. Gunter, what are you cooking, my friend? Some questions are killing me. Adam, imagine how I feel. Farah, I just appeared in the IELTS exam. Can you please help me? You mean you're taking the exam right now, Farah? What does used to mean? Vladimir, used to can have a few different meanings. It can mean previously. So, I used to be a blah, blah, blah. I used to be a doctor. That means previously in the past, I was a doctor. Okay? But used to also means to become comfortable with. So, if I say, maybe you bought a new computer and you're learning how to use the new computer. So maybe I'll ask you, have you gotten used to your computer yet? That means, have you become comfortable and familiar with your computer yet? So, used to can mean previously I was. Okay, I used to like soccer, but now I don't, or whatever. Okay, or it can be to become comfortable with something. I'm used to this now. Teaching was difficult when I first started, but now I'm used to it, which means I'm familiar with it and comfortable with it. Daniela says, I keep reading out loud. It's challenging but useful. That's good, Daniela. Yeah, Daniela, when people ask me what's the best way to learn English, I tell them every way is the best way. So sure, reading aloud is good for you. What's the best stepping stone to improve our speaking skills and expand our vocabularies? Well, those are two different questions. To improve your speaking skills, you just must speak more. But again, it helps if you learn how to think in English. If you have not learned how to think in English, then you won't speak well. Okay, so when you think in your native language and you want to say, shukran, shukran. No, I want you to not think shukran. I want you to think thank you, thank you. Okay, that's all. Whatever you normally think in your native language, the simple things, just try to think those in English. That's not hard. Okay? Everyone has to find their own way to learn. Isn't that true? Yes, that's true, Gunter. Everyone does have to find their own way to learn. However, Gunter, in my experience as a teacher, I would say 80% of people out there don't know how to learn, and they don't find their way to learn. They were, the way they learned was they only learned how to do it if someone gives it to them. So there are many, many people out there who can only learn if you give it to them. If you say, here, this is what you need. But there are many people that don't know how to figure it out for themselves. Okay? Ricardo, I speak English and Chinese, and I've been learning Chinese by myself for like 10 years probably. I also know a little bit of a bunch of other languages, but not well enough to speak them, just well enough to know a few words and to maybe understand a little bit. Okay? Durian says, as you said, English thinking is the most important thing for English studying, but how do we train it? Okay, Durian, I have 3 ways to train yourself to think in English. Level 1 is I want you to start asking and answering all of the W questions. So, if you are at 7-Eleven, you're at 7-Eleven and you're buying some coffee, I want you to think, who, what, when, where, why, how. Okay, so who is in 7-Eleven? Look around and think, who's there? Oh, look, there's many neighbors are here. Many neighbors are here shopping at 7-Eleven. Okay, what are they doing? Oh, they're buying some things for themselves. He's buying cigarettes. She's buying coffee. He's buying a snack. Where are they? Oh, well, they're in the store, which is on the corner of this street and that street. When is it? Oh, it's morning, it's afternoon, it's evening. Who, what, when, where, why, how. Everywhere you go, if you're at work, who, what, when, where, why, how. If you're on the bus, who, what, when, where, why, how. If you're at the grocery store, who, what, when, where, why, how. That's level 1. Okay, level 1. Level 2 is I want you to choose some topics, simple topics like clothing. How well can you talk about clothing? How well can you think about clothing? Right? Do you know how to describe the clothes you're wearing? Can you think about it? I'm wearing a black t-shirt and blue jeans and tennis shoes. Food. How well can you think about food? Can you describe cooking food? Can you describe eating food? Can you describe ordering food? Maybe hobbies. How well can you talk about your hobbies? Your past, your present, your future, your work, your family, your friends. Those are topics. Write them down and then give yourself a grade about how well you think you can think about that topic in English. If you can't think about that topic well, then you know you need to work on that. Okay, and then level 3, which is a very high advanced level of thinking. That's when you're thinking about, you're answering very high level questions. So, what is the history of 7-Eleven? What are the economics of 7-Eleven? What are the politics of 7-Eleven? What is the religion of 7-Eleven? What is the philosophy of 7-Eleven? I'm thinking on very high level order for that. Right, a high-level order. But level 1, who, what, when, where, why, how. Level 2, topics. Level 3, advanced thinking like psychology and economics and politics and religion and advanced thought. Okay? Adam, you're so great, man. Adam, I tell you what, Adam, message me, Adam, because I would like to give you a few free lessons. Okay, Adam? Adam, you're here every day. You're here every day, and you help me all the time. You remind me to start recording, and you answer questions for me in the chat and everything. So give me a call, give me a message. Send me a message, and I'm going to give you a few free lessons. Okay, Adam? It really does help me when you help answer people. It's really hard for me to answer all the questions, so I really appreciate your help, and I would like to pay you back for that by giving you some lessons. Okay? How can you crack the IELTS exam? Farah, you need to get good study books, and you need about 1 year to study and prepare. And it would be a very good idea, if you can afford it, to get an IELTS prep teacher. That's how you can do it. There are no secrets to passing that test. There's just hard work. Okay? Wow, Miriam, you're working too much. Why do some sentences end with or end in with or another preposition? Ricardo, when I was a boy, they told us not to end sentences with the preposition. But actually, they've changed that rule now, and no one cares if you end a sentence with a preposition now. So, right. So, a long time ago, the English language was based a little bit more on the Latin language. And in Latin, it's improper to end with a preposition. So they used the same rule in Latin in English. But now we don't use that rule anymore. So it doesn't matter, and you can end a sentence with a preposition. Okay? If you want to know more about that, you can go here. Go to that link and they will explain why it's okay and how you can use them and what to do, okay? I think that should help you. I think maybe there was one other page I saw. Let me give that to you too. Whoops. Hello. Okay. Whoops. Wrong one. There we go. Oh, here. Yeah, this is the page you want. This page is really great. This girl, the grammar girl. Let me make sure. Did I get the whole link? One moment. Wait. Text equals cheer percentage 20% up. There is the link. You need both of those, right? So that link is so big I had to put it in 2 comments. That link is so big that I had to put it in 2 comments. So copy that link and go to this quick and dirty tips. Quick and dirty tips from the grammar girl. She has great explanations for English grammar. Okay? Wow, oh my God, there's so many comments that I didn't read yet. Oh, I can never keep up. Do I know about the Effortless English course from teacher AJ Hoge? I know about teacher AJ Hoge. I don't know about any of his courses. I'm sure he's good. He's got millions of followers or something, so I'm sure he's good. But I don't know too much about him because I'm a teacher like him. So, I don't watch him myself. Maybe I should. How to be a confident person. Abdo, you can become a confident person when you do something. So, Abdo, if you go make a plan to do something and then you accomplish that thing, you will feel pride. And when you feel pride, that pride will give you the energy to want to do another thing, which will give you pride, which will give you energy, which will give you pride, which will give you energy. The pride-energy connection, that is confidence. Okay? So when you have pride, you'll have energy to want to do things. That is confidence. Okay? Thank you, Mobina. Okay, 大家你好，这是英文课，所以我觉得你们需要用英文，好不好？可以吗？ Okay, let's see. Did I miss anything else? I'm trying to get to the questions, but I think I missed a bunch of them. Yes, Neil, that's one way you could use ChatGPT also. How to listen to English better. Tuan Huang, you need to listen to better people. So, if you want to listen to English better, start by choosing people who speak very well. If you're trying to listen to people who don't speak well, then of course you're going to have a hard time. Listen to people who speak well, then you'll understand. Okay? Masood says, there's nobody near me and how can I can't go to an English class. How can I improve my speaking? So, Masood, if there's no native speakers near you, then guess what, Masood? There are lots of non-native speakers because I have many, many Iranian followers and all of them speak English really, really well. So, there are lots of people in your neighborhood who speak English and they want to practice their English. Go practice with them. Okay? That's how. And then, if you can't find someone to practice like that, then you can teach your kids, teach your mom, teach your dad, teach your daughter or your son, teach your grandma or your grandpa, teach your neighbor, teach your boss, teach someone. Okay? Hello, Noah. You're welcome, Ricardo. Introduce some famous English books for improving my language in any genre. I will recommend the BBC Top 100 books. One moment, let me find it. No, not that one. Try that. You will feel pride and you will feel proud. Gunter, you could say either one. Pride is a noun. It's a feeling. Proud is an adjective that describes the feeling of pride. I think that's right. Yeah. Okay? Can you chat with me online? Hillary, I'm chatting with everyone online right now. You suspect that I'm in China. Well, you suspect wrong. 我住在美国，在俄亥俄州，这是在美国中部。Am I tired? A little bit. Why? I will drink my coffee. Ooh, what just happened there? That was weird. Am I frozen? I am. One moment, everyone. My computer's acting weird. Okay, can you guys see me now? Yeah? Okay, good. All right. I don't have too much time left. I've got about 15 minutes left. Let me see if I can answer some more questions. You agree with her. I'm a bad husband. What? Who's a bad husband? Why is someone a bad husband? What are you talking about? Hello, everyone. Some tips to improve your pronunciation. Anil, okay, if you want to improve your pronunciation, what you should do is I want you to think about 10 words that are difficult for you to say in the English language. So write down any 10 words that are hard for you to say. Then I want you to look at those words and figure out what is the sound or what sounds are in that word that are difficult for you. So maybe it's the TH sound or the R sound or the V sound, okay? Figure out what sound it is that's difficult for you. And then I want you to find every other word in the English language that has that sound. And now you have a good way to practice how to improve the things that are difficult for you to say. Okay? Did I take videos about the English language on my YouTube channel? Yes, Sarah. If you go to my YouTube channel, I have uploaded many of my live streams to YouTube, and I'm trying to upload more. So later today and tomorrow, I'm planning to upload more videos. Okay, but if you go to my YouTube channel, there should be, I don't know, maybe 7 or 8 or 9 live streams. I don't know. There's at least some to watch, okay? Can you give some tips for small talk? Raina, yeah, small talk is easy. Just be curious. Be curious. Where are you from? What do you do? Where have you traveled? What do you like to do for fun? What kind of movies do you like? What kind of TV do you like? Just be curious about that person and their past. That's all, okay? Even though you're not curious? Well, Raina, yes. If you're not curious and you're trying to get to know someone, then yeah, you have to pretend to be curious. That's part of, diplomacy or relations, when you're trying to talk with people, right? So if you're talking, maybe it's a business meeting, right? You're meeting some business people at a bar to talk about business. Yeah, you've got to pretend to be interested in that person. Oh, where are you from? Oh, that's really interesting. I've never been there. Tell me more about it. What do they have to do there? What kind of food do they have? What's the most interesting thing about your city? Just, yeah. Let me teach you an English word. Well, it's actually a Hebrew word, I think. To schmooze. To schmooze, Raina. Schmoozing is a slang word. It means talking to people to try to be friendly with them, right? So maybe if you go to a business meeting and you meet a bunch of new people, you have to schmooze, right? So you have to pretend to be this really nice person and you have to pretend to be this really great business guy. Like, you have to schmooze. Okay, that's called schmoozing. It's dinner time for my European students, indeed, yes. Mobina wants my YouTube channel. Yes, sure. One moment. Let me give that to you. Come on. There we go. Let's try that again. Okay, if you go to this moment, then you can find all of my links. You can find my Facebook and my YouTube and my TikTok and whatever there, okay? That's right. Just be polite and get involved. That's right, Raina. You have a small, big issue and you've run out of ideas of how to solve it. What's your small, big issue? Potato dumplings with butter, roasted bread, and roast beef. Wow, Gunter, that sounds awesome. Where's my plate? All right, I have another good question. Someone said, can you tell me the difference in pronunciation between can't and can when you say it fast? I can tell you this. I can help you because I have the answer you need. The answer is native speakers sometimes can't understand that either. So if my father says, we can go to the game later, and maybe I didn't hear him well, I'll say to him, I'm sorry, Dad, did you say can or can't? So the answer is, if you don't know if they said can or can't, then you should ask them, just like any native speaker would. I'm sorry, did you say can or can't? I'm sorry, did you say can or can't? I'm sorry, did you say can or can't? That's all you need to know. Because that happens to us too. So there is no way. Some people don't speak very well. Or maybe you didn't hear something very well. So you just have to ask them. I'm sorry. Did you say can or can't? That's not hard. All right? Gunter, let me get on a plane and I'll be there as soon as I can. When you try starting small talk with strangers, you start shaking and sweating and you panic. Miriam, that's anxiety. That's just anxiety. And Miriam, anxiety is the natural feeling that we have when we do anything new and uncomfortable. Okay, so new things are almost always uncomfortable. So how can you make a new thing comfortable? If new things are always comfortable, then that means that old things are very comfortable. So how can you make a new thing old? Do it a lot. Do it more. Okay, Miriam? So, Miriam, I remember when you first came on my live stream, and I remember you were nervous to talk to me. But you're not nervous to talk to me anymore, are you? You've become comfortable because you've done it. That's the secret. Is can't shortly pronounced and can longer pronounced? Not necessarily, Gunter. It just depends on the person. The problem, Gunter, is that both can and can't are very short. They're short words, and they happen in the middle of a sentence, so it's not that uncommon for sometimes that word comes by so quickly that you just don't hear it that well. Okay? How about using be able to instead of can? Well, you could do that. You know, some people can, they might do that. If you say, I'm sorry, did you say can instead of can't? They might say, oh, yes, you're right. I said we are able to. We can. Or we are not able to. We can't. All right? How do you pronounce hung, the past tense of hang? Yeah, hang, hung. Hung. You don't know when to use ing. Nora, if you use the word to, then you don't need ing. So you can say, I like to walk. Or you can say, I like walking. You can say, I like to drive. Or you can say, I like driving. So when you use the word to, you don't use the word or the ing. But if you don't have the word to, you need the word or the letters ing. Okay? Hello, Kanate Abdo. Nora says, I feel shy to make mistakes in conversations. And Nora, that's why you're not getting better. Don't be afraid of your mistakes. Your mistakes are your children. Love them. Hug them. They're there to teach you something. Every time you make a mistake, you should hug it and say thank you, because it's going to teach you how to get better. But Nora, if you are afraid to make mistakes, then you are afraid to make progress. The more mistakes you make, the more progress you make. I know that seems crazy, but it's true. Okay? Hello, Roslyn. You're welcome, Miriam. Do I teach in Cambly? No, I do not. You're welcome, Raina. Thank you, Elena. No, Bellin, H-O-N-G is hong, hong. H-U-N-G is hung, hung, hong and hung, different sound. Do natives also make a lot of grammatical mistakes? Jun, yeah. Jun, I want you to do me a favor. I want you to go on Facebook and just look at 10 random pages from Americans and just look at their posts. There's a really good chance that they don't have good English, because almost no one does anymore. Everybody is so lazy on the internet. So people don't use punctuation, and people don't use commas, and people don't spell things correctly, and people don't use correct grammar. So yes, Jun. Jun, let me ask you a question. Are there a lot of Koreans who also make grammatical mistakes in Korean? There are. There are people who make grammatical mistakes in every language, right? Yeah, Gunter, you enjoy your dinner, and thanks for watching again. You feel shy when you talk with friends in reality, but not shy on social media. Well, again, everyone. Everything that is new is uncomfortable. everything that is new is uncomfortable. But things that are old are comfortable. So you need to make it old. How can you make something new become old? Do it more. So if you're shy to speak in real life, then you need to do it more. There is no path around. There is only through. Lazy Sunday Afternoon. I think that was a Monkey song. Yeah. Does that mean that it's not so serious about grammar in the U.S. in daily life? Yeah, I think so. Cecilia, when people ask me about grammar, they say, Teacher Mark, is grammar important? Then I tell them, in school, grammar is important. At work, grammar is important. If you're taking a test, grammar is important. But if you're just talking to your friend at the store, no, it's not important. Stop worrying. Start speaking. Hello, Mosen. Gunter, what do you want to know about the word merge? To merge means for two things to come together, is to merge. Thank you, Tuan Huang. You can use merge for traffic, sure, yeah. So to merge is when maybe you're trying to get on the highway, right? And so there are people already moving on the highway, and you have to move with them to make the traffic not stop, right? So you don't make them stop so you can come in. You have to find a spot and get in there without bothering anyone, right? So there's two words, yield and merge. To yield means that you must wait for them, okay? And merge just kind of means politely find a way to get in, but do it politely, basically. Okay? Thank you, Miriam. Take care. Yeah, it's getting time for me to go too here. Could I explain the word perspective? Sure. One moment. Let me help you. Perspective. So, your perspective is your view of something. The way you think about something is your perspective. So, what are your views? Means what are your ways of thinking about something? All right? So, perspective comes from the word perspectus, meaning clearly perceived or clearly understood. So, if you break down the meaning of that word, per means through, and specere means to observe or look. So, your perspective is how you look forward. Means, what is your view of things? What is your view? Okay? Jun, a bottleneck is when too many things are coming into a small place. Just like a bottle. A bottle is big at the bottom but smaller at the top. So anytime a big thing goes into a small thing and it causes a lot of traffic or backup, then we call that a bottleneck. Take care, Belen. Perspective is also a technique in art. Yes, Cecilia, it is, but even in art, it still means how you're looking at something. So perspective is Are you looking directly at it? So should the lines and angles be drawn exactly forward? Or are you looking from an angle so that the line should be drawn at an angle? That's your view forward. How are you looking? From which view do you see? Okay? That's right, from a point. That's right. So it still means the way you look at something. Okay? Okay, everybody, once again, if you want to follow me, please go here. All of my links are there. Please make sure you follow me here on Hello Talk, but also follow me on YouTube and TikTok and Facebook. Okay? And, yeah, I have about 48,000 followers. Let's see, how many did we get today? So I'm nearing 49,000 followers. I have 48,734 followers. And I really want to hit 50,000 followers before July 1st. So please do share for me. Okay? Sheeran, if you go to this post here, go to this post, my Hello Talk post on my moments. It has my YouTube. It has my TikTok. It has my Facebook. Okay? That one post. Fede wants to know the difference between standpoint and perspective. Yeah. Standpoint and perspective are pretty much synonyms. Okay? It means what is your standpoint means what is your perspective. And your standpoint means from this point where you stand, how do you see things? So it means the same thing as perspective, which means your view of things forward. Okay? All right, everybody. You are welcome, Fede. So once again, I do need to go, but I'll be back on Tuesday. So please make sure you follow, please make sure you share, and have a good morning, have a good afternoon, have a good evening, wherever you are in the world. Thanks for watching. Thanks for participating. All that good stuff. Thanks for subscribing. I'll see you guys soon, okay? Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.